Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending on your location. This is Leadership Talk with Adegoke, and I have with me Ernesto Gomez from Mexico. And today we're looking at leadership and regrowth. And we're going to be speaking to the book, his new book on regrowth. So Ernesto has, really been able to put together something very profound, a lot of value in his new book. And so, to our listeners all over the world, um, there's no doubt that this session is going to be quite impactful. So, Leadership Talking Adegoke, we've had over 100 podcast sessions, and there's no doubt that this is just going to be awesome. Recently on ChatGPT, we were ranked as the number one leadership podcast in Nigeria. So it's worth celebrating. So immediately after this session, we're going to even make a bit of more noise regarding that because it's good news, isn't it?
Thank you. Thank you, Adegoke. I'm so happy to be with you. Congratulations on your well-deserved recognition. I'm
Thank
very
you.
excited and being checking about you, and you're a person who has been able to move along a path which is really complex. Kudos for that.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm humble. Thank you so much. Okay, let's jump right into the podcast. Okay, so who is Ernesto Gomez? Tell us.
Well, that's a good idea. Have a main identity, and then I'm a chameleon also, depending on the circumstances. But in a nutshell, uh, started my career as an entrepreneur, and for about 15 years, I launched 10, 12 businesses in the food industry, but also in office supplies and as a consultant. So I was part of as many other people, uh, starting up organizations, both in Mexico and in the United States,
Okay.
restaurant businesses, catering businesses, even food stores. And then for a very strange reason, I got called. There was a large company here based in Monterrey, Mexico,
Okay.
who required a consultation. So I started off as a consultant. They invited me to be part of that organization, and that turned out to be 23 years of my life.
Wow.
So I started off as an entrepreneur and then transitioned into the corporate world uh, with large organizations. Uh, at some point, I was responsible in a conglomerate for the HR area department
Okay.
as, for an organization that had 83,000 employees throughout the world.
Wow.
Then I was requested also to be the CHRO for an organization present in 18 countries with 45,000 employees.
Excellent.
So you can tell how I've been, moving along. I've been operating businesses. Quite frankly, I evolved into the HR position from being in the trenches,
Okay.
operating. I got myself prepared also for that. So it's been a wonderful career. And now I retired about a year ago in
Okay.
January 2024. And now I'm trying to help people and organizations to unlock their potential. That's my goal.
Awesome. Awesome. Amazing. Congratulations to you. So over 4 decades of adding value, and you're not tired yet. You're still showing up.
Oh, no, no. The best 10 years of my life are yet to come.
Wow. Wow. Amazing. Congratulations. Congratulations. So now let's before we go into your book, I just want to share your perspective concerning leadership. What is leadership to you?
It's interesting because I've been a critic about, you know, leadership like being a term that is used so much that it has almost lost its meaning.
Hmm.
You go and see leadership books, for in dozens, and leadership, workshops, etc. But at the end, what is it? It's about getting the best out of you and getting the best out of people in the pursuit of a common goal.
Hmm.
That's it.
Wow, that's basic. That's good. That's good.
That's the basic. And in doing that, there are many, many things that you have to accomplish, but it's getting the best of who you are, getting the best of others in the pursuit of a common goal.
Awesome. Awesome. Amazing. Very, very simple, but very powerful. Now, your book, Regrowth, what is regrowth?
I've been, working for a long time and witnessed how growth, it's really elusive,
Okay.
because in life
Yeah.
we hit walls all the time.
Okay.
As people and as organizations, you start, in a path to growth, and all of a sudden you hit this lump or you stall, and it's
Okay.
quite normal.
Yeah.
And then from there you have to regrow. So if you take a long-term perspective of how organizations and people behave, it's never a 45-degree ascending line.
Correct.
It has, ups and downs. Sometimes you are frustrated. Sometimes you don't know what to do. And
Okay.
then you have to recalibrate and understand and learn and adapt.
Okay.
And through that adaptation, lead yourself to another growth path. So it's more, I called my book Regrowth because I think that's the goal, to be in a regrowth mood all the time. So
Okay.
if you hit a bump, know that you can get out of it.
Awesome. Awesome. I picked from your book, the term regrowth. You said regrowth is improvement.
Yes, it's all I mean, you have to be in an improvement mentality all the time, uh, and it's hard because it requires energy, time. You have a bunch of reasons why not to do many things that you must do.
Yeah.
The end, the transformation and regrowth and leadership boils down to a question. What is what I want to do? If your aspiration is powerful enough
Hmm.
to move you along a growth path, you're going to take that route. If you do the calculation and remaining in your current position gives you a better payoff than moving along, then why change, right?
Hmm.
So you have to have a reason
Yeah.
uh, to change, and organizations very often miss that.
Hmm.
Sometimes they craft a very high-end purpose,
Okay.
which is inspirational, but it has to have tooth.
Wow.
Uh, I,
Okay.
I was I was reading Napoleon's biography by Emil Ludwig
Okay.
not too long ago, and getting into Napoleon's mentality, he said the following. He said, no soldier allows himself to get killed for the payroll,
Okay.
but you can do that for an ideal.
All right.
Somebody has to speak to your soul in order for you to risk the most precious thing you have.
Hmm.
So that idea, which is very romantic, can be applied in the business environment.
Hmm.
You know, why is that I'm doing what I'm doing here? And it's a combination of I'm adding value to a cause that I believe in,
Okay.
and also I'm using all my talents and I'm growing myself, by doing that.
Awesome.
So when you
So,
put those things in sync, then the transformation happens.
all right. And, it's not for you to believe in it, but it must be bigger than you. You know, yeah. It must be so big that, it keeps expanding your mindset, because,
You're right. I mean, I think you're on the point. Uh, if you have a good reason to change,
yes.
then nothing is going to stop you.
Hmm.
But if deep in your heart you're not really willing to change,
Hmm.
and there is nothing you can do about that. In my leadership positions and as a CHRO, I
Yes.
was always convinced that I can help people change, and there is many things that we can do to help people move along. which is true.
Yeah.
However, there are some people who deep in their hearts they have a reason or they don't want to change. And in those situations, you really have to face the person and say, listen, do you really want to belong here? Is there a good reason why? Or maybe you could do better elsewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's a tough decision you have to make. But anyway, it's not the same, wanting to change and not knowing how to, that knowing that you have to change, but deep in your heart not wanting to.
Hmm.
So that you have to find in your teams, who is in which position.
Yeah.
And then those who want to change and need help, you have to go for it. You have to help them.
Amazing. Now, the next question, we're doing so, you're doing so well. The next question is, what's the relationship between leadership and regrowth?
If you look at, the definition that we discussed about leadership,
Yes,
it implies that you're going to move from point A to point B.
correct.
Because nobody is a leader to remain in the same place that she or he started from.
Yeah.
Organizations, we have a mandate to growth.
Okay.
Everybody has a mandate to grow, to get better at something,
Yeah.
right? It could be in a company, of course, it could be profitability, it could be just revenues, it could be, share, whatever. But you have to improve. That's the reason why you are doing something.
Hmm.
So leadership and transformation and learning all are sides of the same coin.
Okay.
In order, you lead to move, you lead for action, you
Okay.
lead to improve. So, in that sense, leadership and regrowth are connected because the act of regrowth involves uh, being aware of where you're standing,
Okay.
understand where you want to go,
Okay.
and then you have a gap, and that gap has to be energetic enough for you to pursue your goals.
Hmm.
So for me, leadership, transformation, and regrowth are windows that look into the same house,
Wow.
inside the same house.
Wow. Wow. Awesome. Now, in your book, you talked about the four valves. Can you just quickly speak to it, in a few minutes?
Well, of course, and it touches upon what we just have discussed.
Okay.
I was examining, I wrote a book, first of all, to lay the ground or try to convey a framework for organizations that want to scale growth and
Okay.
scale change throughout the organizations.
Fantastic.
And then as I was finishing, I kind of thought, what happens with the individual? Because whenever you think of organizations, you think about people. So what happens with the individual and what happens with a path where you as a person have to lead your own growth?
Hmm.
And I call this, the self-growth
Okay.
frame.
Self-leadership. Yeah.
And exactly so. And I think I tell or I explain that these are valves. You
Okay.
have to start opening valves so that you can, release all the potential you have within you.
Yes.
So, and I studied, I examined my own life, and I know now that I've been through 8 transformations,
Wow. Eight.
powerful, profound transformations, and I'm into my ninth actually,
Awesome.
where I didn't know what to do, I didn't know how to do it, but I had to do it.
Hmm.
So, what were the common denominators, that happened to me? And then with those ideas in mind, and I don't want to proclaim myself, a guru on self-led growth. I just
Okay.
want to share what happened to me, and if that's useful for anybody,
Someone
that's
else. Yeah.
fine. So I noticed that there is always an aspiration, there's always a why you want to do things,
Okay.
and you have to really be convinced about the worth of what you're doing.
Okay.
And then there is always a standing point, which is, in my case, me and my circumstance, because you have all the attributes that you may have, but you also have circumstances,
All right.
that can be barriers. that will stop you.
Hmm.
And being aware of what is stopping you, it's as valuable as your abilities to pursue your growth. So
Okay.
even sometimes removing what's stopping you is even best, because now you pave the path. And in between those two things, there is your mindset
Yeah.
and the skills you have, and also what I call the essential qualities.
Okay.
What is that inside you resonates with you so much that gives you your life meaning and joy?
Wow. Your message.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you really leverage that part together with mindset and skills, you're gonna move from where you are to where you're gonna be a lot easier.
Wow.
Right? So, and
That's
then the last valve is the help from others.
hmm.
We live in a world where, there is this idea of the alpha male that we must aspire to. I mean, I understand the reasons why, but a message to your audience from me would be don't hesitate to ask for help when you need to.
Wow.
There are a lot of people that can help you, acquaintances, books, podcasts. That's ways of getting help,
Yeah.
and it will open your mind to new thinking,
Hmm.
and really confront your, you know, we are not finished products by any means, and we are not sometimes aware of the things that we have to improve in ourselves. So having the perspective of a third party, it's always helpful.
Awesome.
And don't forget that these four things live in a world of action.
Hmm.
So you have to act
All
because
the time.
yeah, all the time, because we may kind of be trapped in our own thinking and not really doing. So we
Hmm.
have to balance those things, the
Application.
thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
So pretty much that's the framework.
Execution. Okay. Now, as we begin to wrap up, what are two lessons that you want to share that you believe from this book will help our listeners all over the world? Two lessons. Yeah.
The two lessons that I would like to, which are part of a framework, is there are two things. First, uh, you have to work with your ego all the time.
Your ego.
You
Okay.
have ego. Ego, it's a friend, but it's mostly an enemy.
Hmm.
It can be a friend because you really have trust in yourself
Hmm.
and confidence, and you need that. But once you pass a certain level, ego is really a powerful enemy. But it leads you to think that you're right,
Okay.
that your knowledge is better, that you're at the center of the universe, that if you hold a high position, you have all the answers.
Hmm.
And the goal here is not to be right all the time. The
Hmm.
goal is to get it right.
Okay.
And it may need somebody, to hear some other people and to be willing and humble,
Yeah. To accept.
accept different views. So be aware of your ego all the time.
All
And
right.
the second thing is that uh, if you're a leader of a team, you are really a steward of the team. So don't think about yourself as the enlightened one,
Yeah.
but think about how people can help you even in your progression and can push you up
Hmm.
if you allow them to. So be open to hear what is now called psychological safety. You
Okay.
know, be willing to open the room for discussions
Okay.
and to really pay attention to what other people have to say. At some point in time, you have to make a decision, and it's right.
Yep.
Well, that's if you're a leader, that's what you must do. But before doing that, be certain to hear different aspects or positions. Because if you don't do that, you're probably going to miss a good idea that will help you progress in your life.
Wow.
So
Fantastic.
don't want to be, the smartest guy in the room all the time. Those two things are going to help you a lot, I think.
Awesome. Okay. So for our listeners, if they want to get the book, how do they get the book? Is it on Barnes and Nobles or, what's the
Yeah, you can get it online.
okay.
Uh, Amazon, in any region that Amazon reaches, it's
Okay.
there. You just have to write Ernesto Gomez book, Regrowth, and then it will pop up. and
Okay.
it's sold in Europe and it's sold in America and Asia, etc. Also, Barnes and Nobles online has it, so you
Okay.
can get into Barnes and Noble. You can get into even Walmart online has it.
Awesome.
So, so you can go there and have it, and feel free to contact me also. I'm in LinkedIn.
Okay.
Uh, I'm
Ernesto
a,
Gomez on LinkedIn. Okay.
correct, and
Oh,
just write me a note, and I'll be happy to get in touch with somebody who wants to discuss more about leadership.
fantastic. So there you go. You've heard from the man himself from Mexico with over 4 decades of experience. His new book, Regrowth, is out, and it's such a privilege to share the platform with you on Leadership Talk with Adegoke, and we've looked at leadership and regrowth. Um, Finally, is there anything you'd like to share with our audience in 1 minute as we wrap up?
Well, probably yes. There is a lot of talk about AI these days and how that's going to affect leadership. And the truth is that we don't know yet, all the nuances and about how it's
Yeah.
going to do this. And we are always pressured to do more with less.
Hmm.
Uh, but don't get caught in that trap, because the future is in doing things better, even
Hmm.
doing less better.
Hmm.
So I really think that AI will help us um, leverage what makes us human.
Okay.
You know, AI is just commoditizing knowledge,
Okay.
but knowledge is not enough without judgment,
Hmm.
without vision, and without helping people be the best they can be.
Okay.
So don't get trapped into that. There is a lot of talk about AI these days, which is fine. I'm a fan. I use AI all the time, but I really think that it's going to leverage what makes us human in the end.
Awesome. So there you go. You've heard from Ernesto Gomez, and it's been such a powerful session again on Leadership Talk with Adegoke. And as usual, we've been able to bring someone that has so much content and value. We appreciate you for what you do and what you represent and how you're adding value globally. Um, I know that this is just going to be the first of many interactions that we have with you going forward. And we're so pleased to have you. And I trust that you also had a wonderful time with the questions as well. So,
Well,
yeah, yeah,
thank you, Adegoke. No, I enjoyed the conversation very much. And you're a very thoughtful person, and you really, it shows how you think about, insights before asking questions. So, thank you for that.
thank you, thank you, thank you.